it is. And we got to check the sound real quick. So far okay, we got sound. All right. Get my headpiece set here. We got nobody joining us. So we'll hang out here for a minute or two and see if anybody. Right now we got nobody. Nobody wants to see us today. Yeah. Nobody wants to play with us today. We'll give it a minute and see if anybody pops in. At least I don't see anybody. If you're out there and you're watching, say hi. Yeah, nobody wants to play today. So I guess anyway, oh, there's somebody. We got one. We're letting the hi David. We're letting the audience join us. We've been on for a couple minutes and nobody seemed to want to play today. So we'll give it a minute or two and see if anybody else pops in. We're getting ready to head to Texas. We got a show. We're leaving Thursday afternoon. Rick and I are. Andy's over in, where's he at? In Phoenix, right? He's in Arizona right now. And then he's flying over to meet us in Texas. We're going to the NBS Spring Market in Fort Worth. Big buyers show. Buyers from all around the country, different retail outlets come in to buy their stuff for the year, 6 months to a year at a time. So it's our first go around with something like this, and we're real anxious to see how that's going to work out for us. So we're here today, and I don't know about y'all where you all are from, but we got 2 foot of snow on the ground here. It's about knee deep. Really put a damper on hunting the last couple of weeks. Deer season ended Sunday for us. I was out a couple weeks ago after the first big round of snow, and it was knee deep. And I trudged a couple 100 yards back through the knee deep snow back to the blind, and I was like, I ain't shooting no deer. I'm just gonna. I don't want to have to drag a deer out in this knee deep snow. It was insane. I had 5 deer come in, and I just watched them. Watched them for a while, and they went about their way. I'm like, I'm not even trying to have a heart attack out here in the woods dragging a 150-pound animal out in 2 foot of snow. So I already got a few in the freezer, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Hi, Russ. Yeah, that's what you're right. I do need a sled. It's so deep. The snow was so deep back there, a 4-wheeler wasn't even going to do it. The 4-wheeler wouldn't have been able to get back there. We usually pull them out with a 4-wheeler. My buddy's got a 4-wheeler, but that even wasn't going to do it. Yeah, I was sitting in the blind taking pictures of the deer, sending them to my wife. I'm like, I told her, I said, I'm not even going to shoot them. I can't. I don't want to have to drag it out of here. I'm too old. Yeah, tell Santa I need a sled. Yeah. Not a bad idea. One of them little plastic kid sleds, you know? Yeah. So we got a few people joining us now, so we'll get kicked off here. We're here today. We're going to talk about slings. There's a bunch of different ways and to use. There's different types of tactical slings, and there's a bunch of different ways to use them. Most of us are real familiar with the old-fashioned style hunting rifle sling, that goes up over your shoulder, rifle, right? pretty basic stuff. They make some real fancy leather ones. They make these soft neoprene ones, web strapped ones. They make all kinds of, this is a cheap little Allen. I think I paid $15 or $18 for this thing. Pretty inexpensive for my 22 rifle for squirrel hunting, whatever. But that's not the type of sling that we use where, obviously we deal with AR rifles, and that's not the type of slings we use for AR rifles. So there's three main types of slings. There's single point, 2-point, and 3-point. Everybody has their favorites. The single point sling is called the single point sling because it attaches at one point on your weapon. Okay, and I'm going to try to do this without jamming myself all up in my microphone, and I'll show you how. All right. Okay, so single point sling hangs off of your non-shooting shoulder. A snowmobile. There you go. Yeah. That's what I need, a snowmobile. Right? Yeah. And that's one of the main problems with single point. They're real nice if you're pulling guard duty or something like that, where you're going to be standing here. Maybe even you're standing on a position out in the woods hunting. This thing is just right here by your side. It's quick to get to. And you can, drop it back down. It's out of the way. As Russ has stated, this, you're trying to move around, you're trying to do stuff. You can see, this thing is swinging, right? And it's smacking you in places that you don't want to be smacked. So, like I said, it's a good, and you got a quick detach, right? So you can detach, do what you want to do, leave your strap hooked, and hook back up, and away you go again. But again, I have seen two attachments where they have a strap that hooks on here, and you can come around and hook this thing so it stays here by your side pretty good, so you can move around without this thing, because this is the main drawback to me of a single point sling, is that this thing is just freewheeling and flopping around. So not my ideal sling for any kind of tactical moving, hunting, whatever, So we come to the 2-point sling. This is my favorite sling. I really like the 2-point sling. Enough toys, right? So they call the 2-point sling, again, because it attaches in two places. Okay? Now, this, I like the 2-point sling because you can tighten it up, and that rifle is right there. I can swing around. I can do whatever I want to do. I can climb a ladder. I can do anything I need to do. This thing's right here. Pull this, and without getting caught in my microphone, and I'm at the ready. Okay, I can drop it back down, cinch that tight, and I'm back. And it helps if you have a little tactical girth like I do. Keeps everything tight, including your shirt. The other thing you can do with this is throw it up over your back, right? And it's behind you. It's out of the way. Now you're doing whatever you need to do, and I'm trying not to destroy things here because I don't have a lot of room back here. But you can do this pretty quick, right? You can come from a behind the back position to up front and ready to shoot relatively quickly, and then cinch it back up And so this is the sling that I use. I use an AR for deer hunting, 350 Legend, and this is the sling that I use when I'm deer hunting, because we do a lot of deer drives with the guys, and whether I'm driving, right, if I'm driving, I can have this right here, walking through the woods, hands free, doing whatever I need to do. If I'm, I can loosen it just a little bit, and it's still in a pretty good spot, still pretty hands free, and I can still come up and be on target pretty quick. Okay, so that's the 2-point sling. This is a Vickers Blue Force gear. Great sling. They're not cheap. I think it was about $60 for this sling. But it's my favorite. I like it. I don't mind paying you got to hang an elephant from this thing. It's super thick, super strong. This was a eBay special. I think it was $20, $30. Single point, 2-point. Now, you come to the 3-point. Now, this is the kind of, us guys that were in the military, this is the sling that just about every duty rifle comes with. I've heard a bunch of guys say the best way to use this sling, your McLean. I haven't tried the McLeans. The best way to use a 3-point sling, I've heard guys say, is to take it off your rifle, cut it up into little pieces, and throw it in the garbage. So, but, this is, and there's 3 points because you'll see the 3 points. Right now it has 2, okay? But here's the 3rd point right here, okay? So I'm going to show you what you do with that here in a little bit. But this is a pretty traditional sling. You can carry your rifle like this. You can flip it around and carry it in the traditional hunting style, okay? It can be a 2-point, right? Just like this other 2-point, okay? Okay. And now you can loosen it, and just like a regular 2-point, okay? It works the same as a regular 2-point. So here's where the 3-point comes in. Now, if you practice with these and get proficient with them, they work pretty good. Okay, so now, right, here's your 3rd point. You take this and you go over your head. Now, you can hang your rifle at the ready in front of you and be, okay, you can say you're at parade rest, in formation, whatever, your rifle hangs in front of you. And again, you're ready to shoot pretty quickly. Okay. But the only, you're constantly fiddling with stuff because it gets caught in everything. You're just constantly kind of making adjustments to get it where it feels good. Now, you can undo this and you can throw this thing right over your back, transition to your sidearm, right? And then you can come right back and you're up and at it again. I don't have a lot of room back here, or I'd be able to do a lot of this much quicker, but you can literally toss this thing over your back, transition to your sidearm, shoot with your sidearm, reholster, and then come back and be back at your rifle. Okay, so it's a practical sling, but cumbersome, and it takes a while to get used to the manipulations of it and all the different ways that it can be used. So that's the 3-point sling. Like I said, if you get used to it, you use it a lot, and you have, the more stuff you have on you, if you're in a tactical situation, you've got Alice pack webbing, you've got all this different stuff on you, this thing's going to get caught in a lot of stuff. So great in theory, so much in application, in real world application. So that's the basic type of slings. This one, I think it was around $20, $30, almost the same as the single point. Not much. Pretty inexpensive. Both of these were. You can spend more, obviously. There's some out there that are, $60, $70, $80 depending. This webbing is not as thick, obviously. I mean, you can see the difference in the webbing from the Vickers Blue Force, the $60 sling versus a $30 sling. You can see the difference in the quality of the webbing material, the thickness of it. Obviously, that's going to equate to strength. So, the elasticity of these is pretty good. I don't know how these seem to be pretty strong. I know my lab had a collar that had one of these plastic clasps on it, and we had her hooked to the deck, and she's a 100-pound dog. She took off running and snapped this thing like it was nothing, so I don't know how much these plastic clips could really endure when it came to being battle tested. Don't know that I would risk my life on a plastic clip. So when we were at SHOT Show in Vegas, we worked with we're starting a relationship with a company called WMD Guns out of Florida, Stuart, Florida. And they've had an item out now that I found pretty interesting. They've had it out for a couple of years now. And they sent me one, knowing that I was going to be doing a show on slings. They sent me something and I've played with it a little bit. And I'm going to move a few things out of the way here, make myself a little room to show you this. So this is called the Sling Stock. Okay. And your sling is inside the stock. It's fully retractable. It goes from single point to 2-point, and I'll give you a little demonstration here. This is how easy you pop your old stock off. You pop this stock on. Okay, and there's your sling stock. And hidden in here is 10 foot of webbing. And when you don't want to use it, it just retracts back in to the stock, which I thought was pretty cool. So now you've got a single point sling, just like your single point. Okay, and if you want, I don't really necessarily like on a single point sometimes how low a gun hangs, because it takes a little bit, right? I like a gun that hangs up a little higher, which is kind of nice with this single point. You can hang it up a little higher. You can get it up here where you can actually use it, and you're still in a comfortable enough position to actually bring it up and shoot. Okay, a lot easier to get to. The pistol grip's right here, So I do like it for that. Now, pull some extra webbing out here, lock it back in. Their patented clip here comes off and attaches to your Picatinny, and now you've got a 2-point sling. And you need okay. And you can do the same thing. You can throw this thing over your shoulder, just like any other rifle, any other 2-point sling, bring it back right around. And it's kind of nice, too, being easily adjustable like this. If you're wearing bulky clothes, you're putting on kit, armor, whatever. If you're in law enforcement, you can adjust this for any size. You and your partner are 2 different sizes, right? You're getting out of the vehicle, you're in law enforcement. Either one of you can grab this rifle and adjust the stock or adjust the sling to whatever fits you. And then put this back on here, and it goes back to a single point. So, pretty cool. A little nichey, and it takes a little bit of practice to get used to how to use it without strangling yourself. But pretty cool. Different look. Not sure. I will tell you, it takes a little getting used to the look, but the comfort. When you put this thing up into your shoulder pocket, it is extremely comfortable. This beveled angle here really fits into your shoulder quite nicely. I really do like that. Okay, it just feels comfortable. Where you have on a standard stock, you have this flat riding up high. You have this angle that fits right into your shoulder pocket. So it's a very comfortable transition there. I like that. Not sure. I guess it's one of those things, the looks could kind of grow on you. And I get, I'm used to what I'm used to. So this is a new thing that gives you a new look, and you just gotta, realize that the versatility of it makes up for the look. So that's the sling stock from WMD Guns out of Stuart, Florida. They've had that. It's been out for a few years now. They got a patent on it. It's been out for 3 years now. It's the first time I've seen it when I went to the SHOT Show, and we were at their booth, and I thought it'd be pretty interesting to show you guys. So I had them send me one, and we will remove that. Pretty well built. I think I want to say they're like $150. So, you buy a nice butt stock for $50, you buy a sling for $60, 100, and you've got a nice little setup for $150. I don't know, maybe weighs, it's definitely lighter than this. Oh yeah, but it's a pound and a half maybe. It's not super heavy. Not super heavy at all. Okay. So, single point, 2-point, 3-point. Single point has its applications, for me, mostly if I'm standing still, I'm going to be standing guard somewhere, something like that. Then having that just hanging there, okay, not good for mobility purposes. The 2-point sling, I like for the mobility where it can hang tight to my chest, and I can sling it over my back. I can loosen it up a little bit and be up and ready to shoot. The 3-point has a ton of applications and a ton of versatility to it. It can be cumbersome, and it can get caught on a lot of stuff because there's so much manipulation to it. But it does have its they all have their pluses and minuses. You have to decide which one's right for you. So and I mean, you got $120 worth of slings here, not counting the sling stock. Okay, so to buy all 3 slings and play with them and try them, and each one has their own. You might find that you want certain. You want to use a certain sling at certain times, and each one has its own application. So to have all three of them at your disposal, $120, and you're all set. And if you don't go with the Vickers, you can probably be in for under $100. This in a non-Vickers is going to be around $30. So you could have $30, $60, $90. You have $30 in each sling or less, and you've got the three different slings that you would need for any application. So, I meant to show you one other thing that I found that I like with a 3-point. I thought this was pretty cool. So I hunt, okay? That's my thing. Squirrels, deer, rabbit, whatever it might be. I'm a hunter. And most of my guns are for hunting. Okay, so in a traditional sling setup like this, where it's going to attach at the backside of the rifle here. So it doesn't necessarily happen heavy on this type of rifle, but it will. Okay, the heaviest part of your rifle is your barrel. So you sling this over your shoulder, and you guys that hunt and have used a sling, you've got to hold on to this thing, right? You're constantly, because what happens is as you're walking, the weight of the barrel, pretty soon this thing starts to go like that, right? So I'm going squirrel hunting, and I got my tripod in one hand, and I got my bucket seat in the other hand, and I got my rifle over my shoulder, and I'm walking through the woods, and next thing you know, this thing's starting to creep on me, and it's over backwards. So with the 3-point sling, I break it without taking out my microphone, and now no matter what I do, it doesn't tip over backwards on me. It's right there, just by splitting that and bringing it over. So one of the interesting things and neat things I found about the 3-point in a traditional sling application is being able to split it and bring it over your head, and you don't get that creep of your rifle wanting to walk backwards on you and hang upside down. Same thing, this would be great for a crossbow. Crossbows are extremely top heavy. All the weight is at the top of them, and as you're walking through the woods, if you don't hang on to that thing, it's going backwards, right? So be a great application for that as well. That's Tactical Slings in a nutshell. Sly Tactical makes some great slings and contributes to your program. That's great. Yeah, I haven't heard of Sly Tactical. I'll have to check them out. Let me go back and see if I missed any questions here. What'd I do? I don't know what I did, but I'm not going to mess with that. I'm still live, right? Okay. Vickers Magpul MS4, Vickers Blue Gear, Blue Force. Yep, this is a Vickers Blue Force gear. I've got 2 of them now, and I like them. No snowmobile. So, yeah, I wasn't going to be here this week. I'm supposed to be in the Bahamas right now. But we canceled our trip a month or so ago with all the coronavirus stuff and the restrictions they were putting on the cruise ships, and they weren't letting cruise ships into ports, and then all that kind of eased up, and I'm disappointed that we canceled, but hey, it is what it is. We'll be in the Bahamas at this time next year. So. And we got a balcony upgrade on the ship. They gave us a free balcony room. So, can't complain about that. Okay, so single point, 2-point, 3-point, and sling stock. So, that's stocks for this week. We'll be back next week. We'll be in the show till Monday. We're flying back in Monday afternoon. We'll be here Tuesday. Talk about what we saw at the show there, see if we saw any cool stuff, any interesting new stuff, and we might even have some swag to give away. We might even do another swag giveaway. We always pick up swag, and you go around all the different booths, and they got hats, and they got knives, and they got pens, and they got stickers, and they got all kinds of stuff. So we'll pick up a bunch of swag, and we'll do another swag giveaway. All right, thanks for joining me, guys. And then the week after, we're going to take a look at our Mantis X10 laser training system, dry fire training system. And we're going to go out here in the lab and set up some targets and actually do some shooting. So we're going to have a little fun shooting with laser. We're going to the NBS show in Fort Worth, Texas, Russ. Nation's Best Sports. It's a buyer's show. Only guys that are members of the buying group. Different, it's everybody from mom and pop's gun stores to Cabela's and all the different, the buyers for all the different chains. Everybody comes to these shows and looks to buy their inventory for 6 months to a year because they get special pricing by being a member of these shows. They get special discounts and terms. So it's a pretty big deal for us, a brand new thing for us, and we're anxious to get out there and try it out and see what it's all about. So, yeah, that's what we got going on the next couple weeks. Y'all stay safe, stay warm if you're not in a warm climate. The whole country's cold except for Florida. I saw on the news the other day, Texas was 20-something degrees. Yeah, it's crazy. They had snow in Texas. So, all right, so we'll see you guys next week when we're back from Texas. Remember, you don't have to be an expert to build your own AR, upgrade it, or maintain it. We're here to help you do that. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks.